Hi, everyone. Welcome to the
Hello.
Food Freedom Formula Masterclass. Yay!
Yay.
We're so glad you're here.
Yeah, let's just put it on the table that um today we're going to be talking about how food isn't our problem, it's our relationship. And so just to get us started off, Teresa, do you want to do a little grounding maybe?
I certainly do. So I'm going to invite everyone just to bring yourself into this moment in time. You can close your eyes or look down or just whatever feels good for you and just settle in. Feel your feet on the ground.
Mm.
Feel your buttocks on the chair. And just notice where you're at right now. Focus on your breath. Leave behind everything that happened up until this point, and don't worry about things that will happen after we're done here today. So let's just be present for ourselves and for each other. And we know that food conversations typically have a lot of history around them, around it, around our stories, our narratives. So we want to kind of bust through that or shift that a little bit today. So let's take one more deep breath. And if you had your eyes closed, open them with a little grin on your face. And let's get rolling.
Yes. So let's start our time together with just a little check-in. And using an emoji, and I'm going to put three in the chat. How would you identify where you are right now in your relationship with food? And if
Mm.
you can't get to emojis right now, go ahead and type the words, but the big salad
Salad
bowl
bowl.
is I love healthy eating.
Oh, is that what that is? A salad bowl? I didn't know what that
It's a
was.
little salad bowl. The straight mouth is just kind of neutral, and the grimace is me and food, we are on the struggle bus.
Or you can pick another one that is more meaningful. See, I am looking at them. Which one do I? Here's one.
Yeah,
Oh,
neutral.
I didn't
Okay.
send it. Like, yeah, it goes
That's
up
where
and
you are,
down.
Teresa.
Depends on the day and the season and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
sometimes
And
it's like a roller coaster.
we ebb and we flow.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Um, so let's pop a slide just
Okay. Are you seeing food freedom
yeah.
formula? Try
Yes,
saying
there we
that three
are.
times really fast.
And so what you'll gain today, which I think might be the next slide,
Yeah.
is um, flipping old identity stories and introducing a new way to ask questions about how you eat. Definitely, if you are in the diet cycle, a way to escape that path, discover food feelings, experience mindful eating, and to learn about the 95-5 rhythm.
Hmm. That
Curious.
sounds intriguing.
Hmm.
Come on, switch over. And you're in the right place if you're ready to choose foods without guilt, feel energized instead of drained, and nourish yourself in a way that honors your own personal rhythm.
That's right. No one size fits all.
Correct.
And we found some kind of crazy stats. Over 70% of women over 50 report dissatisfaction with their current weight and their shape compared to where they were when they were younger, with stomachs tapping in at the highest area
Of course. Of
of
course.
discontent.
Hmm.
And
But
yeah, go
I
ahead,
was just
please.
going to say, dietitians emphasize it's never too late to adopt healthier eating habits. So that can change at any point in your life. And that's going to do you some good.
Yeah, even small, consistent habits can have a significant impact. And we are all about well-being, which we will say again and again, it is not a luxury. It's a strategy. It's a strategy for living well. And the more you care for yourself, the more powerful, more profitable, and the more purposeful your work and your life become. So, self-care every day.
Yes, that important. Now, the benefits of self care are clear. We all know it, but it's the doing of it, I think, that is the tricky part for many of us. So, just women entrepreneurs who maintain consistent self care routines grow their business 27% faster than those who neglect their well-being or their personal self-care. And I'm going to generalize and say that's probably true for every area of life. You're
Yeah,
just going
I
to be
don't
more
think,
successful across the board.
yeah, if you're not an entrepreneur, it doesn't mean this doesn't apply.
Correct. Correct. That's why I said across the board. So in whatever phase you're at in life.
So just taking a minute to visualize 1 year from now, how would your life look with consistent self-care woven in? And we've got a quote here from a past participant. My sporadic fitness routine of stops and starts built up to a daily fitness habit, and my body transformed from tired and achy to strong and more energized.
So before we move from this slide, Diane Amelia, we did not insert who we are here. So why don't we introduce ourselves very, very
That is a very good
quickly?
idea.
So I'm Teresa Lisum.
And I'm Diane Amelia Read, and together
Together
we are
we're the
the
Vitality
Vitality
Continuum.
Continuum.
Yay!
Yay.
Okay, so now we'll move on.
Well, let's
We do
just
want to
take
take a few moments. Yes, forgive
yeah,
me.
take
Yes.
take a pause. And Pam, I don't mean to put you in the hot seat, but if you visualized self-care, including movement, which I know you've gotten really good at, and really consistent nourishment in a way that makes you feel good, what a year from now, like as we're heading into spring of 2027,
Ooh.
how could that look for you?
So, I mean, I think you said it just a few minutes ago with the quote that was on one of those slides is that I think you know, Diane, that I've kind of popped in and popped out for a very, very long time and of, health and food and all of it, and this last stretch was a pretty long stretch, I'd say. And I I think for the first time in a long time, I feel like I'm not going to say I'm enjoying my workouts, but I'm enjoying how I feel about my workouts and what I do. And I've kind of pushed away all that guilt about what I'm doing, how long I'm doing it, when I'm doing it, all of that nonsense. So, um, my hope is how I will feel is that I will feel like that. I will feel like it's just, I get up in the morning and this is what I do. Whether I do it at 7 a.m. or 5 in the
Mhm.
afternoon, whether I do it for 20 minutes or an hour, it's just what I do as part of my living and breathing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
You are on a great trajectory.
Yeah, yeah, that's huge.
I think so. I think so.
So yeah, celebrate yourself on that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So as we alluded in the beginning, food is not the enemy. And most women don't struggle with food because they lack willpower. They get into a tough place because they've been taught to kind of mistrust themselves and detach a little bit from their bodies. So today is not going to be another eating plan that is the latest salvation. It's about coming back home to your body. No dieting, no macros, no restriction rules, no guilt being presented today. We're starting to build a relationship with food and with your body that actually you can live with for keeps.
Mhm. Love that.
Hmm. This, you are looking at a graphic of my history right here. Anybody else?
Mm,
Yeah.
versions of it, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, and if you've ever said something like, "Oh, I was good all day and then I blew it at night," that's not failure. That is biology. That is your body talking. Um, Restriction increases cravings. It increases stress hormones, and it can lead, and it certainly did for me, to deficit eating or rebound eating. So again, I say diets don't fail because you lack discipline. They fail because they're kind of at battle with your nervous system. So today,
Mm.
we're going to stop fighting.
So that's a great way of thinking about it. Like just what you just said just kind of allows me to shift my thinking about eating in general. So
Yeah,
thank you.
I've spent a lot of time in battle with myself. So you want to talk about this first identity, Miss T?
Sure. So we like to bust some identity um, and change from old ways of thinking to new ways of thinking. So this is our first one today, where you just say, like, I just don't have any self-control. I just, I see chocolate and I have to eat it or whatever, fill in the blanks. So, um, the way you eat usually is a reflection of who you believe you are. And we're like, that's a no, like, no, we want you to change your thinking on that. So some of the other ones, like I always fall off the wagon, or I'm an all or nothing person. I'm good all week and then. So like we identify with that. It's like, this is who I am. And those aren't food statements, those are identity statements. So we have a choice between and behavior, between the two, and identity always wins. So I have no self control around food. The underlying belief is if I were just stronger, I wouldn't give in to that hunger, into those cravings. But the fact that I do means that something's wrong with me. So we take it as a personal failure when we cave into something, to that sugar, that whatever. But cravings aren't a character flaw, they're just communication. Your body isn't saying you're weak, it's saying, hey, I need something. Hey, I need
Yo,
something.
over here.
Again, that's just a little shift that, again, for me is making a big difference just in this moment in time, not to take it as a personal failure is huge, I think. So let's instead think that my body is not betraying me. It's responding appropriately to that restriction, to that stress, to any unmet needs.
Yeah. I like the way that when we have these stories, we understand what the underlying thing is. And I know I've heard it. Women say, I can't control myself around chocolate. I can't control myself around pasta. I love cheese. I can't control myself. And
Mm-hmm.
that becomes identity. But a great reframe is that, and actually, this is just a little story from last week. I got on the scale and weighed way more than I thought I should. And I realized in that moment, because I knew what I'd been and not been eating the week before, but I hadn't been eating enough. And so my body was hanging on. My body was in deficit mode. So it was hanging on, and it's like, okay. And it's easy to do, when you are busy. Busy is the word. You're busy
Mm-hmm.
and not mindful. And so maybe lunch happens at 4 o'clock or later, and then you have dinner or you don't have dinner, and it just gets wonky.
Yeah.
And so your body's like, okay, I'm hanging on to everything we got here because I don't know when more is coming.
Wow.
So just
That's
food for
food
thought.
for thought. Yeah.
But
Wow.
the so do you want to pick it up with the final reframe of that I have no control statement?
Sure. And thanks for sharing that story. Like I said, that is really interesting. I just will say that. Interesting that your body retained or brought in some extra weight to compensate for that deprivation. Yeah, whew, that is a really interesting thing to sit with for me. So the reframe we're offering is my body is wise. When I listen instead of punish, my choices naturally regulate. That is so much softer than, oh my God, what did I just do?
Yeah.
Beat
Have no
yourself up
discipline.
over it. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God, I really, really like that. Okay, let me
Yeah.
get over
So
to,
our next identity statement is kind of like what we referred to a minute ago. I was good all week, or I was good all day. The idea I was good or I was bad.
yeah, yeah.
Ah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, those are
Yeah.
identity statements for real. And
Yep.
and the underlying belief is my relationship with food has moral value.
Mm,
Eating perfectly means I'm worthy.
mm.
Eating imperfectly, whatever that means I've failed. So here's the
Mm.
thing we need to do every day, and we've assigned a moral value to it.
Yeah, is that, wow. How did that happen?
I don't know, but you know what? There are no food police. There are no gold stars. There's no food detention. It's just data and learning, listening and responding. It's really so much easier than we've assigned it to be.
Or was there food police when we were young?
Well, yeah,
Maybe there
okay.
was to some
Yeah,
extent.
yeah, yeah. You're absolutely right.
Hmm.
You're
And we've
absolutely
just
right.
carried that forward with us. Wow. So
Yeah.
this, I love this. Food has no morality. You're not good or bad. You're simply fed or hungry, nourished or not.
Yeah. So going from I was good to I was bad, reframe that. Every meal is just information. It's nothing to
Mm,
feel judged about, and it is absolutely nothing to atone for.
wow. That is huge.
Uh,
Just, yeah, information, not a judgment. That, yeah, that's so much more graceful and easier to accept. So this is our third identity we want to blow. So I blew it. I might as well just keep on eating and start over on Monday. If you even throw that start over in there. I'm sure some
yeah,
people don't
right.
even start, throw that in. They're just like, oh, I already blew it.
Might as well double down.
Yep, yep, yep. And the underlying belief there is if I'm not perfect, then it doesn't count. One mistake and everything's ruined. And I've undone all the progress I've made up until now.
Yeah. You don't have to wait for Monday or January or
Mm,
after vacation. Your next choice is always available, literally second to second. Food is sewn into our life. We need
mhm,
it.
yeah.
And so if we have eaten something that doesn't feel good in our bodies, we just choose, make a different choice, go in another direction the next time. No judgment. And in doing this, you realize that consistency isn't fragile. One choice doesn't erase progress and it doesn't discount your efforts or your intentions. Just reset and move on.
Yep. So
So
the
you want
very
to share
next
that?
bite,
Yeah,
yeah, next bite, you can reset and there's no wagon to fall off of.
there is no way. I can reset at the very next bite.
Oh my gosh.
I
That's
don't have to go outside. I don't have to do seven exercises,
right,
to
right.
work it off.
To
No, that's
compensate. Yeah.
no, I don't have
Yeah.
to atone. I just notice without judgment and reboot.
Love that.
Yeah.
Again, that is so much more forgiving and softer and generous and gracious. I love that. The whole energy around it is so much better than the opposite, which is the judgment and the berating and the. So when we change that belief that's underneath the story, we stop fighting food. And when we stop fighting, our body finally relaxes enough to work with us.
Yeah. I'm going to invite folks to try this reaction. Instead of judgment, just go, huh, interesting.
Hmm. I love
Not, I'm
that.
stupid. Oh my God, I can't believe I did that. I'm a
Yeah.
loser. I always do that. Those are identity statements. But when
Mm-hmm.
you take it into a behavior statement, it's like, huh, interesting.
I love that. We're not here to punish ourselves,
Yeah.
which
So
what
that's
which
it.
is what we're doing with that judgment.
Absolutely. So that's it. Just notice. Noticing is loving. Judgment is punishing.
Mm, love that. Okay, I got to find my share again. Hang on.
I know. Zoom really scrambled up the control panel.
Well, I when I shift my windows or resize, that happens too. Okay, can you see the slides?
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. This is such an interesting concept.
How many
Find your
times have I
first
said,
joy.
what do I feel like eating? What do I feel like eating? That's such an interesting question. And I invite a new question, which is, how do I want to feel after I eat? How do I want to feel after I eat?
Mm,
And confessions, I love food. I love
Hmm.
to
Yep.
eat. I
Yep.
I love food and I love to eat.
Ditto.
But food is more than flavor.
What?
Yeah, turns out. I saw a newsflash. It's energy, it's mood, it's hormones, it's clarity. It's so much more.
Mm. And that's another good shift in the way we think
Yeah.
to go deeper and realize this is, like you just said, it's all these other things. It's not just for our taste buds, which
Yeah.
is hard to believe, but
Yeah. Might look like an innocent little breakfast, but there's a lot going on there.
yeah, yeah.
So how do you want to feel after you eat?
I love that. It's just a shift of a word. What to how? What do I feel to how do I want to feel?
Yeah.
So
So go ahead. Go
I was
ahead.
just gonna say we have some three food feelings that you might want to go for instead of what, how. So these are some suggestions. I want to feel energized. I want to feel satisfied. I want to feel joyful as opposed to lethargic and sleepy and heavy and guilty and all that.
And all the other dwarfs.
All the that's
Yeah.
great.
So these are some food ideas. If you want to feel energized, think categorically. Protein, fiber, plants, hydration, carbohydrates, which are not the enemy, provide energy.
Mm,
And a protein and a carb together, the carb gives you energy, the protein helps you sustain it. So
mm,
so think in type. Do I want to feel energized? What food or foods bring me that? And don't forget the hydration.
mhm. And then if you want to feel satisfied, then you want to go to healthy fats, maybe look at the texture of the food you're eating, warm foods, comfort foods.
Yeah. Texture. I love crunch.
Hmm.
Oh,
Oh
me too.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I need some crunch. I understand why
Hmm.
people put, and it might just be one or two potato chips in a sandwich. Love that.
Yeah, crunch is good.
And I'm gonna also ask what healthy fats are healthy fats of choice? Like for me, because I am so lucky to be here in Mexico, the avocados are so good. And I eat a quarter of an avocado every single day. Get my healthy fats in. Also creamy texture so that
Hmm.
like hits
Hmm.
two things on the satisfaction.
Oh yeah, ticks off two boxes, huh?
Takes off two boxes. That's right.
Yeah, I like avocados as well.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take much, evidently, huh? A quarter a day.
Quarter a day.
Hmm.
So another category is joyful. So we've got energized, satisfied, joyful. And fun foods are in there with joyful. Wine on the patio, birthday cake, tacos with friends, chocolate.
Mm. Mm. I love that.
Adding to the experience, like with friends, especially if you're a social person, that's going to amp up your enjoyment.
Hmm.
So sometimes in that case, it's almost easier to make a healthy choice because the satisfaction comes from connection.
Hmm.
So you're out with friends who you love, and maybe you don't need to get the heavy thing that's always been your go-to because the joy factor is
Hmm.
paired with food.
Love that.
And all three of these belong. When we eliminate joy, do not eliminate your chocolate or tacos with friends because we'll just make up for it later
Mhm.
in probably a less good feeling way.
So, knowing all that we just chatted about, what do you think about changing that question that we had at the beginning of this previous slide? Let me jump over here. I'm going to pop that up real quick. Maybe. There it is. So there's the change in the question.
Yeah, how do I want to feel after I eat? And the freedom to choose is what makes healthy nourishment sustainable because you can always choose.
Yeah, and we are lucky enough to have a lot of options where we live in
Yes.
general, in this.
So I think that for me, I'm not listening to how do I want to feel after I eat, because
Mhm.
sometimes I'll go out with friends and I think that I want what, let's just say, a cheeseburger and french fries, right? And then after I eat, I regret it, not because of the calories or that I shouldn't have eaten it, but my body doesn't respond to that kind of food anymore. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't,
Mhm.
it doesn't like
Yeah.
that. So I need to, you know, listen to myself and say, like, what would you, why would you order that? Like last night I went out to dinner and I'm like, why did you order that? Like,
Mm.
because you don't feel good afterward.
Mm.
Tasted good,
Yeah.
but there were other things that would have tasted good as well. And I would have felt better afterward.
Yeah. And there are ways to approach that. And I love a good burger. And I'm not much of a meat eater, but there's a place just down the street that has probably got the best burger I've ever eaten in my life. And because it's a block and a half from where we live, we go there more than
I bet.
than I would have if I had to really travel for it. What I've come to do is like slice it in half and either save the other half or just let it go. So I get the flavor
Hmm.
without the belly bomb.
Mm. Love that.
So there are ways. But yeah, and the question is, for me, I know how I'll feel if I eat this whole thing. And it's day over because I'm in an insta food coma.
Mm.
So
And it's that awareness, that body awareness, that connection with your body, which we have over a lifetime been disconnected from.
yeah,
And again, I don't know where that starts. I'm sure it starts way, way back when we were young and we just were taught or didn't, we're not encouraged to pay attention to our body signals. So, but we can always come back around to that because we have choices. Now that we know better, we'll do better.
speaking of choices, one of the little tricks that I've learned before going out to eat is I check out the menu online before I
Mm,
go
it's good.
and think about, and it can be, gee, what would feel good what would satisfy my emotions or something that is not my digestive system. And what are a couple of things on here that would really feel good, taste great and feel good? So that's just another little thought about going out. You can do a little reconnaissance before you go. And
Yeah, yeah. Technology is wonderful for that.
yeah, absolutely.
Definitely wonderful. We have lots of advantage again nowadays than we did in the past.
So, Teresa, you'll like this one as a former teacher. I've heard people talk about the 80-20 rule, where it's kind of, yeah, I'm good 80% of the time and 20% of the time I just wing it. But, and correct me if I'm wrong, but if you're grading on a scale of 100, an 80 is 1 point above a C. 79 becomes a C. So that is really average. Like just and so if you are not, if that's the rule you're living by and you're not feeling as good as you wish you were, then shoot for higher. Do not shoot for 100 because that gets into the crazy perfectionism thing.
Right, right.
But if you say, yeah, 95% of the time I'm making decisions that just really align with how I want to feel. And 5% of the time I go home with a belly bomb or, whatever it is.
Yeah, yeah.
It doesn't have to be that extreme, but
Right.
it does give room for the joyful category of the foods we eat.
Mm-hmm. I love that.
And especially in midlife and beyond, the stress hormones, and I've learned this deeply in the last year. Um, Let me say this another way. Relaxed bodies make better decisions.
Mm,
So when our hormones spike, that can be as a result of so many things, from stress, from high energy exercise, even stresses our body,
mm,
and making reactive food choices, all can stress our bodies. So just know that stress can spike belly fat faster than a cookie.
hmm.
Can I interject something?
Absolutely.
Please.
It's on topic, but slightly off. I went to a doctor yesterday, a urologist actually, because I just feel like I pee a lot. So I've been putting it off and I went, and she was so great because she just asked me a lot of questions about me and my, like my day and my body. And so she asked me a question. She said, "You feel like it? Do you feel stressed?" And I said, "Yeah, I guess I'm a little stressed." And she says, "Do you grind your teeth?" And I'm thinking to myself, I'm at the urologist. She's asking me about grinding my teeth. So she said to me, "Your body, all of your body responds to stress. And it's almost like when you're stressed, it's like somebody's poking you or poking your bladder or poking this or poking that." And she said, "You have to listen to what's going on, aside from the things you control, like drinking too much coffee or tea or whatever. You have to listen to what's happening with your whole body." And I have never walked away from a doctor going like, wow, it's so true. And like stress just nobody realize I don't think people realize
Yeah, yeah.
what it does to you. And so it was very interesting.
Come away with some insights from a doctor, huh?
Yeah,
Instead
that's the
of
first.
medication.
Thank you
Yeah.
for sharing that. That
Yeah.
that really lands.
Yeah. And
Hmm.
she's so like opposed to medication and said, I mean, that's the last resort. And
Good.
she said, "I just want you to think about," she says, "if you're grinding your teeth, your whole body is responding in
Mm,
other ways similar to that action."
wow.
Yep.
Wow. Wow.
That is big.
Yep.
Wow.
So
Thank you.
mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, I got to sit with that for a second. Figure out if I grind my teeth.
Oh, your dentist will tell you.
Yeah,
Trust
absolutely.
me. Somehow they know.
Oh, that's something. So, Pam, do you have a little something with you right there that you can either nibble or sip?
Yeah, have a water.
Okay.
Oh,
So,
I wanted to go get something. So
well,
do.
go, yeah, go, girl.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
go. We're going to do a little exercise of mindfulness. I am still intrigued by your visit to the doctor. That I love your reaction. Wait, this is a urologist. Why is she talking about my teeth? But I also love that the urologist is talking about your teeth because we are a whole system.
Oh yeah, it was really amazing. And she was, she did all the things she needed to do to like rule out like issues. Like she did all of those things, exams and all of that. But most of the visit was about stress and your body and
Lifestyle.
yeah. And also here's another thing she goes, what kind of tea do you drink? I said, black tea. She goes, not good. She goes, how much do you drink? I said, well, it depends on the day. And she said, listen, she goes, I know she goes, I have a patient who loves her black tea, but she has a problem. She goes out and she has to find a bathroom all the time. So what she's done is she has decided that when she is going to be out and about, she doesn't drink her tea. She just has some water instead. And then when she's going to be home, she enjoys the tea because she's home and it's easier, right? So I thought that was a very, I mean, that makes total sense to me.
Mhm.
And it's a beautiful segue into what we're about to do because when she's home having that tea, it is intentional. It is
Yes.
not reflexive.
Yep.
It's a choice as opposed to the execution of a habit.
That's right.
That's awesome. That
Yeah.
is awesome. So we're going to have a little mindful eating, and Teresa's so good at stuff like this. I'm gonna let her lead us through, but I do have to say, in Brazil, there is an expression that is que gostoso. And it means it's something that's said when food looks and smells and tastes delicious. It's pleasing to all the senses and to the heart. Que
Mhm.
gostoso.
I love that. I love a good food that's presented very well when I'm
Mm.
out and about. I don't do that at home, but I love it when it's presented to me in a beautiful way when I'm out. That means a lot. But I went and grabbed I think it's a pecan, might be half of a walnut, I can't tell. So those of you watching the recording, if you want to pause this, go grab something small. It can be anything of your choice, just whatever is handy. Um, but just have it so that we can use our senses to really focus on this. If it's something you're drinking, I really want you to be mindful. This is a mindfulness practice. So, the first thing I'm going to invite you to do is whatever you have, whether it's a liquid or something solid, let's just look at it first. Let's just observe it and maybe be grateful for it. Um, if you have something with some texture, notice the texture, how it feels. Like I got a little something on my fingers from my nut, whatever it is. And then I'm going to invite you to like maybe smell it. So if you have your cup of whatever, and it might not have a smell, and that's information as well. That's a mindfulness awareness. Maybe feel the temperature of the cup in your hand, or if you place your hand over top of it. And so we're noticing with our senses. So instead of just popping it in our mouth and eating it without thinking about it, we're putting a little bit of awareness and slowing down the process, kind of like in a slow motion type of a thing. So, smell it, see if it, did I already say smell? Smell it, touch it, look at it. You might want to just dab it with your tongue, just allow your tongue to just relish it without really chewing yet. So we're really, really slowing it down.
You're talking about like the idea of memories. Like, does this spark a memory? And as I'm bringing this water glass, I had a memory of drinking out of a garden hose when I was a kid.
Oh, how
And it was
cool.
such a, because that meant I was in the backyard playing with
Yeah,
friends.
yeah.
Aw.
I love that. Or maybe it's a memory with some friends or family members, and you did a toast or you had, yeah, some special beverage that you were all sharing. So, yeah, I love that memory. So, thank you so much. So, but you can see what we're doing. We're just involving as many senses as possible. And then when you're ready, you can go ahead and take up one little piece of it or one little sip. If you're chewing, like I can hear myself chewing. If you're drinking, you could probably maybe feel it going down your throat or hear it going down. Pay attention to your jaw. What's happening with your jaw? How much effort are you putting in it? How much effort are you doing with your throat? So again, we're just noticing. We're just taking that time to have an awareness around it. And then when you're ready, if you want to pop it all in or drink some more as if you normally would, go ahead. I love doing that. I mean, I only do it once in a blue moon, but I know when we eat anything, we're supposed to be very mindful of it.
Mhm.
Like we're supposed to enjoy the texture and the time. Yeah, and we don't. You know how many people are just like we're just doing it so mindlessly, watching something, reading something, engrossed in a conversation, thinking about what's coming up that we have to do next, our to-do list. Excuse me. So we have all this going on instead of paying attention to what's right in front of us, that delectable, delicious, whatever it is.
I have a habit I am trying to unlearn, which is eating as if getting my food down is on my to-do list and I just need to check it, you know.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. That is exactly it.
And we're not wanting to change what anybody eats, just how you experience it.
I mean, even if you just do it once in a blue moon, once a day, a couple of minutes, 30 seconds, change the pace at which you eat that food. Because if we're in this relationship, which we mentioned at the beginning, which I love that concept, we're in a relationship with this food. I know I try to take time before I eat to really be grateful for what's in front of me, even just for, 10, 15 seconds. Offer some gratitude for the abundance that's in front of you. That could be a huge difference. It just slows you down just a little bit. But I'd love to hear what you thought of that little activity, that little experience.
Pam, I think you were drinking water. Did it,
So that I drink flavored water
Mhm.
because so I drink with hint. I don't know if you know hint, but hint, there's no sweetener in it at all. But I don't know how they do it. It's kind of a mystery to me. But like this happens to be peach, but
Mm.
there's no fruit juice in it. There's no artificial sweetener in it. There's nothing, but it has just a little bit of flavor, enough to make me finish the glass.
Mhm.
So I guess when I did that mindfully, I'm really tasting that flavor. Um, and I drink more water when I have hint in the house.
I love that. Just a hint of flavor.
That's right. That's right.
right.
Aptly named.
There's also some research around showing that the more completely you chew your food, like if you can chew it down to almost liquid form, that's when you really get the
The benefits.
nutrients.
Yeah.
You
Hmm.
maximize the nutrients. And me, when I go all hungry wolf, even though I'm
Hmm.
trying, I've put a healthy bowl in front of myself, if I inhale it, without chewing, then I'm not doing myself any favors. So this
Right, right.
this
You're not
mindful exercise,
appreciating it.
yeah,
Yeah, you're not appreciating the flavor of it.
or
And then
benefiting from the nutrients.
I love that. And somebody told me, I heard this years ago from a Chinese medicine lady. She said, your stomach doesn't have teeth. So the more you could do with your teeth to
Right.
get it down your stomach, it's going to help, you know. So I don't think about that all the time, but it's like, oh, yeah, that's a good point. My stomach doesn't have
Yeah.
teeth, it
Yeah.
can't chew.
Oh,
That's what this is for.
I also think that if you eat too fast, which I am guilty of, that your body doesn't have a chance to catch up.
Mm,
So you think you're hungry still after you've had
yeah,
plenty of food.
good
So
point.
if you eat it slowly, your body kind of is like, okay, you're feeding me. And then when you're done, I do think you're more satisfied.
mhm.
Mm, there you go. That feeling, one of the feelings we're going for
Yeah.
is that feeling
Um,
of satisfaction.
and I think that, our upbringing has a lot to do with how fast you eat too. I mean, I had three brothers. You didn't eat what was in front of you quickly. It wasn't going to be
Really?
there. Yeah. So it's a hard habit to break.
Yeah. Well, sort of eating in self-defense or self-preservation.
Mm, hmm. Which again, we now know better, so now we can do better.
Yeah.
We have an awareness around it. So we just wanted to remind you what we did here. We used our senses. And did we talk about noticing how we felt afterward? I don't know if we mentioned that.
I we didn't, but I really enjoyed it. This
Yeah, I
glass of
did.
water that just sits here
And
all
you
the
don't think
time.
twice about it. You
No,
just, yeah. So just something as plain and simple as water can be a mindfulness experience. Hmm. Again, I encourage you just to do it once in a while. It would just change how we approach food, our relationship with food.
I was also noticing in my body just the feel of the water going down my throat. My throat's a
Hmm.
little dry today, so I was really enjoying that sensation.
Mm. Again, you're enjoying, there's a feeling involved.
Yeah.
You're not just getting your water into, because you have to get so much in a day. You're enjoying that water. Love that. So we always like to bring up a case study or someone we've worked with. And we really simplified this is how she was feeling: exhausted, bloated, guilty. She's made that switch like we just did to mindful eating, and she noticed an improvement in her digestion. She released, not lost, just released 7 to 10 pounds naturally, and of course, is more at peace with her body.
Yeah, her life changed not because she ate less, but because she stopped fighting herself. She
Mm.
may have eaten some less, but she just began making different choices.
Which we can do at any point in time.
That's right.
Notice I
And I,
said that
I,
multiple times here.
Mhm.
I know again and again and again, we reminded her no judgment,
Yeah, yeah.
no judgment. So, what food story might you be ready to release? And how do you want to feel after you nourish yourself? What would peace with food really look like?
All good questions.
Yeah. I know for me, I think I'm going to release the wolf story that I wolf my food. I used to, but I'm not even going to, in my reframing, I'm not even going to bring that forward. I'm just going to say, I am a woman who loves to savor her food.
Love that. I always love the I am a woman who phrase.
Mhm.
And I'm going to use that same phrase. And I am a woman who wants to feel energized after
Mm.
eating, as opposed to slow and cumbersome.
Pam, do you have a single word as to how you'd like to feel after meals?
Um, I mean, I want to be satisfied. I want, and satisfaction looks many different ways, right? So
Yes.
I want to be, my the food served its purpose. I want to feel that I enjoyed what I ate. I want it to be a result of making choices that I want to make. Like, I'll give you an example. I love pasta, but I used to eat way, 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 way too much pasta because I would come home and it would be like, okay, what do I have for dinner? Oh, I'll just
Mhm.
make a big old
Yep.
bowl of pasta,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So for a while, I didn't eat it at all. Now I figured out a way. I have recipes that I use a very small amount and I offset it with much, vegetables or whatever, broth, whatever. And so it satisfies the craving, but it's healthier. Because when I'd eat this big old bowl of pasta, I'd walk away from the table being like, what'd you do that for? You
Yep.
know? So I just want to be in a place where I'm satisfied.
Love that.
Yeah, that's a beautiful word.
hmm And I love how you change that for that meal for yourself.
Yeah.
You're getting that satisfaction of that pasta that you love, but you're interweaving it with the vegetables in a smaller amounts. I love that the way you made
Yeah.
those choices for yourself.
Yeah, beautiful. Great example.
Yeah, thank you. So just a quick review before we wrap it up. We flipped some old identity stories. We offered some new questions for us to ask ourselves. We talked about breaking that diet cycle, uh, discovered some food feelings. How do we want to feel? We offered you 3 different food feeling choices. We experienced some mindful eating that you can take with you and do at any point in time. And the 95-5 rhythm. What do we call it?
Yeah, rhythm is a good word.
Mhm.
And so before we wrap, we want to make sure that you are aware, for anyone listening to the recording, if you haven't joined Thrive Park yet, we would love to see you there. This is your invitation. Thrive Park is an online community for women, mostly north of 50, where we can go to grow, glow, and connect. And you've taken in some information, and insight is powerful, but integration is where life really changes. So we invite you into Thrive Park. It is free. There are free activities there, like this one. There are other things to do and enjoy, but Thrive Park is growing, and it is a place where women can have conversations, find support. It's not a program, it's a place. And it is a place populated with real women living real lives who are there to link arms with you. And that
And we forgot to have the link unless you happen to have it at your end. Do you have that link?
I can get it. So,
As I was going to say, we'll include the link or the QR code with this recording. And if you are a person who is watching this recording, please comment, reply, let us know what your thoughts are around this whole masterclass or what we offered here today. We would love to hear what your experience was or what your thoughts were, if there were any mindset shifts, and if this was helpful in any way. So please let us know.
Okay, I am going to just say we will have the link in the comments because
Yes, so sorry.
the site is a little slow right now.
Okay. Yeah, we will make sure you have that information. We try to have everything ready, but that was one thing that slipped through on this today. But
And you know what? No judgment.
it's okay. Yeah,
It's okay.
it's okay.
We're human too.
So we just wanted you, oops, let me go back to that. If you would prefer to connect with us one on one, you can certainly do so. Those are QR codes to our booking links. If that's something that interests you, you're more than welcome to do that. I'll give you a moment to capture that if you so choose. You can take a screenshot if you want to come back to either of those, or just check out Thrive Park. And then we also want to make sure we give you a chance to ask any questions. I know, Pam, you shared awesome things today. Thank you so much for your insights and your
Mhm.
shares. But if there's any questions that we could answer, we would love to give you that opportunity right now. And if not, that's okay too.
Absolutely. So food was never meant to be something you control. It was meant to be something that supports you. And when we can make that shift, when we can finally trust the wisdom of our body to tell us what it needs, your body finally trusts you back.
I love that. And we like to include this quote every time we have one of these. The first step isn't always loud, but it's always life changing. So start small, start scared, just start. And that could be applied to your food journey, your food relationship.
Absolutely.
You know, you could start the next meal, you could start the next snack. And if you're unsure, you're uncertain, you don't know, I don't know what I'm doing, that's okay. Just start and see where it leads you. Just follow the breadcrumbs. Put one foot in front of the other and move forward.
Well said.
So, of course, we want to thank you all for being here. We are so appreciative. We know you could be anywhere. There's so many things vying for our attention now that we are honored and blessed to have you participate. Watch this recording. Be here, Pam. Thank you so much. And we're available for anything that you need. Please let us know how we could
Absolutely.
serve you.
Thank you,
Thank you so
guys.
much.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thanks,
Okay.
everyone.
Bye
Bye.
bye.